magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Welcome home, family, and join us for the fun. Colorful game.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Remember, yes, always who you are. Yes. Yes. I am love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am love, yes, power. Yes. I am love, yes, I am love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am love, wisdom, power. Master. Yes. I am. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Yes. I am. Say to yourself. Yes. I am protected. Yes. Yes. I am. Master. I am. Yes.
Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Welcome home, family, and join us for the fun. Colorful guests, people everywhere under the sun. Interesting conversations. Prayers first has begun. Invocation, manifestation, conversation, then will come. Magnets, crystals.
Peace, everyone. Welcome to Moorish Monday with Abdullah Talib Mosi Bay. Welcome. I will be your host and speaker for the night. Yes. Let people know that we're on. We're live and direct in full effect. Let's share the link to your various social media platforms. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. Hit that ding, ding, ding notification bell. And so you'll see, which will be strolling across the stream for the next 2 hours, is my website, moorsandmasonry.org. For my books, go to, for Moors and Masonry Part 1 and Part 2, go Masonic Compass Square, The Connection, the Measurement, and Timekeeping, How a Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology Vocabulary, Something That You Won, The Illuminati and the Illumination of the Mind, go to moorsandmasonry.org. All right, so I got a doozy for you tonight. I did post these questions. Sentinel, Israel, and Nicholas, I made some editing, some editorials to the questions. I sent them to your text. Can one of y'all post them in the link? Put the 12 questions. One of you put the 12 questions in the link. I had made a couple editorials there. So post those 12 questions. They're also on my website. I also have there's some posts on my website, not my website, my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey. I have the names of the ancient Arabic orders of the Noble Semitic Shrine Temple. I also have the names of the 150 grotto temples, the mystic order of the Veil Prophet or the Chanting Realm. I did post that about an hour or so ago on my website, my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey. So check those out. I will be what else did I post? I post the some names, some Arabic and Spanish names, the transliteration from Arabic to Spanish. I posted about good maybe 25 names. They're on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey. So once someone go to the Facebook page and share it, and to the various platforms. All right, tonight this is part of the Moorish Connection to Masonry series. Moorish Connection to Masonry series, unveiling the stolen legacy of the Moorish estate and the buried history of the Moorish power, unveiling the stolen legacy of the Moorish estate and the buried history of Moorish power. We're going to delve right into it. I'm going to read one question at a time, and we're going to delve into it. What do the Moors have in common with Spain, Portugal, France, the Netherlands, Dutch Republic, England, Great Britain? What do the Moors have in common with Spain, Portugal, France, Netherlands, Dutch Republic, England, Great Britain? So think on that. What we have in common, the Moors have in common with those kingdoms, is that the Moors were engaging in wars. That's why we're going to focus on during the 15, 16, and 1700, during the time period of what they call the transatlantic slave trade. During that time period, the Moors were engaging in wars, captivity ransom, seizing of European ships. This is major. This is major. This is the buried history. This is in my book, Moors and Masonry Part 1 and Moors and Masonry Part 2. Once again, to get my books, go to moorsandmasonry.org. The extensive history. I give extensive documentary references, treaty references to letters to support my claim. But the first we have is to present this buried history. What does this Moorish buried history tell us? What can we conclude with this Moorish buried history? When you look at what is in common, what the Moors have in common with all of the Spain and Portugal and France and the Netherlands and Great Britain, that we were engaging in, Morocco was engaging in war with all of them during the 15, 16, and 1700s. Moors were seizing the ships of these European kingdoms. Moors were sieging subjects, sailors, and captains from these various European kingdoms. Is this history known to the general public? Is Moorish power known to the general public? It'll paint a different story. Why is Moorish power not known? Anyone who has my book, Moors and Masonry Part 1, And Robert Davis's quote. And his quote is the one put this quote in the chat. I'm trying to recall his quote. The enslavement of Europeans, I have it. The enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European conquest and colonization, which is central to scholarship in the early modern era. That's Robert Davis, a professor of Italian Renaissance history, Ohio State University. The enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European conquest and colonization, which is central to European scholarship. So what is central to European scholarship? European conquest and colonization is central to European scholarship. Now, what is also central to European scholarship is the enslavement of Europeans, is the Moorish enslavement of Europeans. But it's not part of the general education. As you look at my book, Moors and Masonry Part 1 and Part 2, you see the extensive study and research that has been done, extensive writing. But these professors, like Robert Davis and Linda Colley and Nabir Matar, who write on these subjects, their classes are electives. This is not part of the general, what they call European history that's taught in colleges, high schools, and middle schools. These classes are electives. It's not known to the general public, but it is central to the scholarship. So the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme. So what does that mean? It doesn't fit the general theme. Doesn't fit the cover-up general theme. The general theme is what? The omission of Moorish power. They shaped a general theme. And that general theme was to write us out of history, or to bury this extensive Moorish power. So that's the general theme. So Moors and Masonry Part 1 and Part 2 doesn't fit the general theme of European scholarship. Linda Colley, professor of English history at now Princeton University. She was prior to teaching at Princeton University, she was at Yale University. And Linda Colley's specialty, and she's won the Shelby Award, well acclaimed in her field as a historian. She's well acclaimed in her field as a historian. She's won this Shelby Award. She's well written. She has one of her specialties is writing narratives. Like you have, remember you have what they call quote unquote slave narratives, quote unquote black slave narratives. Well, Linda Colley wrote quote unquote white slave narratives. All right. She wrote these the Europeans who were English, who were held in Moorish captivity, they wrote narratives about their experience once they were ransomed from Moorish captivity. These Swedish and English and Dutch and Scottish wrote narratives about their captivity experience. She's known for that. Her colleagues, European males, Donald Trump looking people, men, were attacked her verbally. I mean, this information is powerful, my brothers and sisters. It's powerful when it's put in the hands, when we're organized, when we're united. I must say that, and I might get knocked in the head, but that's all right. This Moorish movement is one of the weakest movements in the world. This Moorish movement is one of the weakest movements around. And I might get knocked in the head, but that's all right. I'm not going to support what I'm saying. That somebody who's going to knock me in my head, they can't support what they're saying. They can't support knocking me in my head. They can't support it. This is one of the weakest movements in the world. We're fighting each other. Misconceptions upon misconceptions. You have this, where people say temple Moors and street Moors, and it's this division. I mean, this is one of the weakest movements around. We have to change that. So the information has power, but absent of unity, there's no power in that. Like, you can't effectuate change without unity. How are we going to effectuate change? So, like I said, I might get knocked in the head, which is all right. So once again, the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European conquest and colonization, which is central to the scholarship in the early modern era. You have, if you were to take a course, I can spit all night long. Y'all know I can. If you were to take a course at a university in the medieval period, or the Middle Ages, it's also known as the Middle Ages, or the Renaissance. Take a course on the Renaissance or medieval period, or also known as the Middle Ages. You will not see anyone that looks like me in the textbooks. You won't see more in the textbook. Or Arab. You won't see more. Why not? This is what I'm talking about. What is central? So see, why not? The Middle Ages or medieval period is between 700 and 1500. Between 700 and 1500 is known as the Middle Ages or medieval period. And you won't see more once. You won't see more at all in the textbooks, in an entire course on the Middle Ages. You won't see anyone that looks like me in the textbooks. wearing what the Shriners hijacked it, our Moorish regalia. You won't see someone that looks like me wearing the Moorish fez. Why not? See the cover up? So Moorish power is not is so the enslavement of European, so Moorish power doesn't fit. Moorish power doesn't fit the general theme of European conquest and colonization, which is central. So the cover up of Moorish power is central to European scholarship, and it's not true scholarship. It's not true scholarship because it's a lie. It's omitting major aspects of history. I mean, it's not scholarship. How is omitting tons and tons of evidence, tons and tons of Moorish power in Europe and during the 15th century in the treaty relations, the Moorish treaties with Great Britain and England, the Moorish treaties in the 1700 with England protected the English merchants who were along the Atlantic Sea coast, and they sailed to England. Those Moorish treaties protect those English merchants and sailors and captains. How is that not central to European scholarship? Those Moorish treaties, the protection they offered. You have the navigational passes, the 16, this is the Moorish Masonry Part 2. The 16, I think it was 1686, I believe, treaty between Algiers and Great Britain. And that it was renewed in 1701. So it was a 1686 treaty, I believe it's 1686, navigational treaty. And in that treaty, that was a major turning point. Come on, my brothers and sisters, hear me out. That was a major turning point, that treaty. Because now it offered the navigational passes. It was renewed in 1701 and then 1710 or 12. Major. The history is powerful, my brothers and sisters. Because then you'll be able to, in order to make connections or to restore, to reversion to sovereignty, we have to know the history. We'll continue. I just wanted to really examine this central to European scholarship. So conquest and colonization is central to European scholarship. The cover-up of Moorish history and Moorish power is central to their current power. Hear me out. The cover-up of Moorish history and Moorish power and the Moorish nationality, Moorish cultural identity is central to European power. Let me say it again. The cover-up of Moorish history, Moorish power, Moorish nationality, the Moorish cultural identity is central to European power. I've known that for over 30 years. That was a driving force for me. It can't be where you're repeating me. If you're just merely repeating what I'm saying, but it's where you come to know it, the intrinsic value of what I'm saying. Come to know the intrinsic value, not repeating what I'm saying. And I know through study, it's power. Why they cover it up? And of course, you'll have people who make ignorant statements. It's out of ignorance, no problem. I mean, I understand. It ain't gonna matter anyway. Why they cover it up then? No, you got to. Let's challenge that. Let's challenge that statement. It ain't gonna matter anyway. Teaching the history ain't gonna matter anyway. But why they cover it up? I mean, why they cover it up? Then teach the history. Then teach it. I mean, why? If it's not going to matter anyway, why is it not taught in these general courses? It's taught in there, but as electives. But why is it not taught? So you already take a course, or it's not going to matter. Well, take a course in the Renaissance. You ain't gonna see nobody look like me, which you should. The Moors are the key to the Renaissance. It's the Moorish Renaissance. It's not the Renaissance, it's the Moorish Renaissance. The medieval period. The Moorish Empire, S.B. Scott's book, 3-volume book. The Moorish Empire in Europe, volume 1, 2, and 3. In Portugal, Spain, in Sicily, in southern France, in the textile industries, paved roads, street lights, public bathrooms, universities, public libraries, surgery to thesis, eye surgery, botany. It's not going to matter anyway. Why are it taught then? And all the universities and all the history classes. I want someone to look up right now, Google, a course, the medieval history, a textbook, and a textbook on the Middle Ages, a college textbook on the Middle Ages. You're not going to see more of the first. So it's not going. If it doesn't matter, why they cover it up? Why they cover up with Linda Colley? Her book is called her Captives. Captives is the main title. Linda Colley, Colley, and she chronicles how we, the Moors, captured 10,000 British in the 1700s. It ain't gonna matter anyway. They ain't gonna make a difference. Abdullah, you're wasting your time. But the key is organizing the people. The key is our unity with this information. So I thought to present it in this way to spur thinking. So I'll go to the next question. The next, I think I'm doing pretty good. I said, oh man. Well, I knew I can spit all night. I know I can go all night long. What is the connection between the Moors and the night orders? All right, so I'm going to read what is the connection between the Moors and the night orders. Now, I've spoken to some brothers who are quote unquote Knights Templar. And I said to them about the history, the Moorish connection, and that the Knights Templar were instrumental in defeating the Moors in Portugal and removing the Moors from Portugal. And that their response was that their order, their Knights Templar order, is not connected to that. Come on, my brothers, please, please, my brothers, hear me out. My brothers who make those statements. It's called the Knights Templar. You're saying that there's no connection. The name is called the Knights Templar. And you're going to say to me, it has nothing to do with that. The name of the order is called Knights Templar. You don't know the history of the order? As the night it was established, these military night orders were established for the sole purpose. The reason why they were established to fight against the Moors. That's the reason why they were established. So you don't know the very reason why we're not talking about you using it as a charity order, as a Masonic charity order. I'm talking about the name Knights Templar and the history of that military order. Why was it established? To fight against the Moors, the Knights of St. Stephen's, the Knights of Calatrava, the Knights Sovereign Order of St. John's Hospitaller. The word hospital, that's the name of part of the name of a Knight's Order. Hospital, Hospitalia, the Sovereign Order of St. John's of Hospitaller, where it's ordered to fight against the Moors. They called it the Reconquista. In Valencia, Spain, every year, the annual celebration of the Reconquista, where they're reenacting the Crusades against the Moors. I mean, they're decked up, royal, Moorish garb to the head to toe. And then they have the Knights order that boom, and they go out into the ocean and have the sail. They'll have a boat sailing, So they do this elaborate, reenactment. They are, Google y'all, of the celebration of the Reconquista in Valencia, Spain. They're called the Moors and the Christians. You have a statue of the four Moors in Livorno, Italy. The monument of the four Moors. All right, here we go. The monument of the four Moors. See where that is in my notes here. So I'm going to read that. Where did I put this? Monument of the Four Moors. Oh, here it is. The Monument of the Four Moors in Livorno, Italy. It commemorates the successes of the Order of the Knights of Saint Stephen, founded by Cosimo the First, Cosimo the First, and protecting Tuscan coast from the Moors. Monument of the Four Moors in Livorno, Italy. It commemorates the successes of the Order of the Knights of St. Stephen's, founded by the Cosimo the First, and protecting Tuscans, Tuscan, coast from the Moors. The Knights Templar were instrumental in the Iberian Reconquista, arriving around 1128 to help Portuguese and Spanish kings expel the Moors. The Knights Templar was granted vast land, especially in Portugal. They built key fortresses like Tomar and Almorol, securing borders against Moorish forces. Following their official disbandment in 1312, the Portuguese Templars were absorbed into the Order of Christ. The Knights Templar participated in major campaigns, notably the Battle of Las Navas de Toloso in 1212, which significantly weakened Moorish power in the Iberian Peninsula. That's the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa. Las, L-A-S, Navas, N-A-V-A-S, D-E, Tolosa, T-O-L-O-S-A in 1212, which significantly weakened Moorish power in the Iberian Peninsula. So it seems that the cover-up, the burial of Moorish history and Moorish power doesn't fit the general theme of European scholarship. So the conquest, so the cover-up of Moorish history and Moorish power doesn't fit the general theme of European conquest and colonization, which is central to scholarship in the early modern era. So the enslavement of Europeans, as Robert Davis writes, that is the Moorish enslavement. So not just this enslavement, the Moorish enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European conquest and colonization. So when the topic of slavery comes up, what comes in mind? Somebody that looked like Donald Trump whipping on somebody that looked like me. Somebody that looked like Donald Trump holding people that look like Donald Trump, holding people in chains that look like me. Now here we go. The word slave, that's a visualization, y'all. Visualization is slave or slavery. Someone that look like that, people that look like Donald Trump, holding people that look like me in chains. So what doesn't come to mind is people that look like me holding people that look like Donald Trump in chains. That is the cover up. The enslavement, the Moorish enslavement. So what doesn't come to mind is people that look like me holding people that look like Donald Trump in chains for ransom, in Moorish prisons for ransom. That doesn't come to mind. You see the cover up? They made it one-sided. And it's not. That's not the true history. That is not scholarship. Let me continue here. I'm making good time. But I don't want to rush through this. This is years of study for me. Years of study. What is the connection? What is the connection between the Trinitarian order established in 1198 and the Moors? And I'll read 3 or 4 together. I'll just separate. What is the connection between the Mercedarian order established in 1218 and the Moors? So we have the Trinitarian order in 1198, established in 1198, and France, and the Mercedarian established in 1218 in Spain. What is the connection to the Moors? This ties right in. I'm going to flow. This flows right in. They were established, just like the night orders. The night orders were established for the sole purpose to fight against the Moors. Why were the Trinitarian? Because that was look at the time period. The Crusades against the Moors was launched in 1085. The Trinitarian was established in 1198. Mercedarian established in 1218. So we're looking at 100 years later. Over 100 years later for both of them. They were established for the sole purpose, the purpose that they exist, that why they were established, to raise ransom monies, to pay for the ransom of Dutch and English and German and French and Swedish and Scottish and English held in Moorish captivity. You had poor families. The offering plate was passed around. And those offerings were used to pay the ransom. You had redemption orders. You had redemption missions. Priests went on redemption missions. You had where you would have. They also did where they will exchange us for them. So they say they had 12 of us in captivity. So they exchange. That was also too. They would change 12 of us for 12 of them. You had that. You had where, you're talking about millions that were raised. You had poor, families. The wives, they're writing petitions for their uncles and grandfathers, and the wives, and then women were also held in captivity. So this was major. The records are there. Newspapers, archival records, treaties, plays about this, short stories, letters. So that is what they have. That's the connection. Checking the time. All right. Any questions? Tell you what, I'll fill some questions right now. Let me look at this. All right. Ooh, all right. Wow, man, I got about 100, 100 comments. I love it. All right. I'll read some of these. High Priest White Wolf, thank you for your support and dedication. Thank you. Diplomatic relations. All right. High Priest White Wolf, they were making their way to GB rights, right? Great Britain, is that? Yes, they were making their way to England. Yeah, along the Atlantic Sea coast. Yes, they traveled on those Moorish treaties, protected the ships that left the land along the colonies, English colonies, and they sailed to England. Yes. Mm-hmm. I think it goes back to DNA, Islam, Moor, Seton Il Bay. What do the Moors have in common with? All right, those guys. You put the question. All right, yeah, I gave. Yes, thank you, Seton Il. He asked the questions. They want to hide the truth. But let's look at Seton Il. So let's explore why they want to hide the truth. So yes, because they're hiding the truth. But now why? What benefits? How does hiding the truth we can benefit them or has benefited them? Because it's been a couple of centuries. This was done through Frederick T. Gates and John D. Rockefeller Board Education School System. The curriculum was designed to dumbest. Well, this is before them. Because you're talking about Frederick T. Gates and John D. Rockefeller. That was early 1900s. You had the cover-up going on in the 1800s. So this is before Frederick T. Gates, and you also have the cover-up in Europe too. So not just here. You have the cover-up in South America and Central America. So this history's been buried, not just here. They were white and they were slaves by Michael A. Hoffman. Yeah, they were white and they were slaves. Peace and respect. Now, they were white and they were slaves. Michael Hoffman does not chronicle Moorish captivity of Europeans. So I'll be clear on what Michael Hoffman, he chronicles the Michael Hoffman chronicles the Irish and other Europeans who were on the cotton field here, who were on plantations, and he chronicles that their treatment has not been known, that how they were treated on the plantations is not known to the general public, and that this indentured servitude story is a farce. The story about the story that used, like the root story and our being whipped and all that, well, that happened to them too. That they're working hard up, that happened to them too. So Michael Hoffman uncovers the truth about Europeans' treatment, Irish and others, on the plantations here. You get the one-sided story only about people that look like us. But Michael Hoffman does not chronicle Moorish enslavement of Europeans. So I just want to thank you for that, just because people see that. I don't want them to assume, because that's what I'm talking now, and that you put that there, so I don't want them to assume. I want them to know what this book is about. I took the course in undergrad and grad school. They will not teach you the truth about the Moors. Well, they won't teach you anything, truth or falsehood, about the Moors. They don't even mention Moors. And that's the age the Moors ruled Iberia and Iberian Peninsula. Yep. Whitson argued that education as it was structured perpetuated systematic oppression, and that those within the Black community who became educated within this system were often complicit. They were partly educated, because not being educated about who we are, meaning your history, our nationality, our cultural identity, our festivals, our holidays, our ceremonies, our language, our philosophy, our pre-existing Moorish power, pre-existing Moorish government structure. What are you being educated about? If we're not being educated about that, then what are we being educated about? Like we're not being educated about that. So what is what we call education then? What are we being educated about? What are we being educated about? Like who benefits from that? Because that oppresses us. Whatever we call education, whatever we learned in school. All right, and I know there's gonna be some, not y'all. They're gonna be people that call me stupid. I get it. They're gonna be people that call me stupid. What do you mean ASS, Abdullah? I benefited. I got a job. That means they don't understand where I'm coming from then. That means they don't understand where I'm coming from. See the individualism? I benefited. I got a job. When they don't even understand, because what I said was our nationality. That means our pre-existing sovereignty. How do we benefit have we benefited as a people? So see, the fact they say I, see how they got us? And let me go back to the home front. What connection do the Shriners have to the Moors? What connections do the Shriners have to the Moors? The ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the Mystic Shrine, now known as Shrine International, established in 1872. The connection, one, the Shriners hijacked our Moorish fez. So the connection is that they wear our Moorish fez. The connection is that they use more Moorish names for their shrine temples. There's over 206 shrine temples in the world. European shrine temples. The connection is that they use our imperial divan, the name, divan, D-I-V-A-N, which is the name of our ties to with our Moorish structure, government structure. Would be the divan would be the cabinet. Would also be analogous to the cabinet, the presidential cabinet. So the divan is made up of cabinet members. So the Shriners used the word divan, and they call it the imperial divan, as their organizational structure. So the imperial divan, as used by the ancient Arabic order of the Noble Shrine, is the name of their organizational structure. And they have the member, the different positions, and they're made up of those different positions constitute the imperial divan. So that's what they have. Also, what they have in common, they use Corvettes, the actual car Corvette and the miniature Corvette. Why Corvette? Why do they use Corvettes though? Why Corvettes though? What's so special about Corvettes? Why do they use Corvettes every year? Why Corvettes? Corvettes means little ship. So the Corvettes, the actual car, and the miniature Corvettes, ladies, is that they're mimicking the ships, the seizing of Moors seizing their ships. A Corvette is a speedboat. What else? All right. The architecture. There's the shrine temples are the architecture of the shrine temple is Moorish architecture. Moorish architecture. So Moorish fez, the Moorish divan, Moorish names, Moorish architecture, the Moorish scimitar, the crescent moon and five-pointed star, which ties to the lunar calendar, as well as the Earth and Venus alignment, the 8-year Earth and Venus alignment, which is symbolized by the 8-pointed star. So that's the body's the part of the culture, the Venus and lunar calendar. So that's the connection. All right, continuing. Let me go to, let me look at some questions here. Some more. We got a lot here, so I want to. All right, thank you, Set Neil. didn't the Moors branch off? The Moors were conquered. All right, so let me talk branch off. All right. The Moorish dynasties, the Umayyad dynasty, the Almohad dynasty, the Almoravid dynasty, the Nashid dynasty, they didn't work together. Those, the Umayyad dynasty was overtaken by the Almohad dynasty. The Almohad dynasty was overtaken by the Almoravid dynasty. So the Europeans saw this division where we're overtaking, the previous dynasty for fight for the power. And so they saw that weakness there. And so they organized their resources and established night orders to fight against us. So there was that fighting against each other for power, where the Europeans worked together for a common goal to defeat us. Templar of the temple relating to the Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. Knights of Peter Claver. Please, Morris, please study the law of nations by this Kenneth Ill. Morris, Kenneth Ill Bay. Post-millennium is the international law application for returning a conquered population back to the way they were with all of their original sovereign powers as if they were never conquered. High Priest White Wolf does the Cosimo word have any generational or mental significance or correlation to the word casino or even similar purpose? Well, we're talking about Cosimo the first. Cosimo the first. All right, he wrote that battle. We are Moors, not Slavs. Absolutely. Yeah, slave, and Caucasian are are words, are nationalities and cultural identities that tie to people that live in a particular region. Or Slav is those who live in Eastern Europe. And then Caucasian is those who lived in the region of the Caucasus Mountain. Donald Trump is not Caucasian. Why not, Abdullah? Because Donald Trump is of German and Scottish descent. That's why. That's the answer. That's the answer. Because Donald Trump is of Scottish and German descent. Caucasians are descent. That's a descent. Those who lived in the Eastern Caucasian region, Caucasus Mountain region. Slav, the Eastern Europe. Does it mean that now? It never stopped meaning that. What does that mean? Does it mean that now? What does it mean that now mean? It never stopped meaning that. Like, does it mean that now? It never stopped meaning that. Like, where's the stop meaning? Where does the stop meaning? Where does the original meaning stop? It's a descent. So it stopped meaning referring to a descent. So does the constructive meaning take precedent over its original meaning of that being a people of the Caucasus region? When something goes unchallenged, that's all that is. But my brother says it. It's gone unchallenged. So the United States, taken from Christoph Meiner in the 17 and the school, the Guggenheim School, in 1785. He actually used associated Caucasian with white before Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. But Johann Friedrich Blumenbach became more popular, and he actually created expanded on Carl Linnaeus' system and adding 5 classifications. And he associated Caucasian with the white and European class. And his 3rd edition on natural variety of mankind. That was his 3rd edition in 1795. So where called it for Johann Friedrich Blumenbach had already been established with his 1st and 2nd edition. All right, let me go back to the questions here. Educated about brainwashing, Robert C. Battles, Robert R. Robinson, W. Journal of the Songhai People, Journey of the Songhai People, Little Ship, Moors and Masonry. It's okay, it's okay, I got called stupid all the time. Let them be if they can't comprehend how you explain the truth. At least you planted a seed. I appreciate you, Abdullah to the Mosi Bay. Now, not only will we explain, but we will also show our findings. So we have to show our findings, which I do. All right. African presence in early Europe by RMS Sertimer, Africa, yep. Slow mode. According to T.B. Irving, between the years of 1786 and 1009, Franks and Jews traded Slavs and Germans who had been taken prisoners. Question, this is by Kenneth Ill. How did the Prophet Noble Ali set the foundation for us to recover our lost Moorish sovereignty? All right, for the audience. All right, so when Juali and organized institutional structure, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the Moorish Science Temple of America, and he taught an organized structure, not on the street now, was not blowing a horn on the street. It was done it's important now. That's why I'm emphasizing the structure. He taught it in a organized structure. It be registered to the more, it's still an organized structure. And how that's recognized by the international law, organized structure and teaching our people who we are, the Moors. And doing that in the organized structure, that laid the foundation for the reversion or recovery of our lost Moorish sovereignty. He addressed the subjugation. He addressed the subjugation by stating that we're not Negro colored black. Now, the issue we're not in violation. We're not in violation. None of our people are in violation. Now, And I know those in the Moorish temple is going to beat me over my head, which is all right. And it's all right. I get it. Get it. Say anything that you analyze Chu Ali's work and you don't agree with everything, they attack you. Like, I'm not attacking. They think I'm attacking. Like, you cannot analyze. You have to agree with everything he says. If you don't, they call it an attack. What I disagree with is that and claiming that our people are in error, that our people are in violation. We're not in violation. Follow me. To make a claim in the international community that our people are in violation, that, all right, our people, right? Check black off, a Negro off. That's not a violation on our part. It's not a violation on our part. I disagree with that. I disagree with the claim that our people are in violation. We're not. We did not strip ourselves. Let's talk international law. You're talking a state, i.e. United States, stripping a people of their cultural identity and nationality, renaming and reclassifying them, reducing them from a people and nation to a fictional racial category. We're not in violation. We didn't do that. So this is why I disagree. I know that means the United States is not in violation then. You make that, then what's the point? They didn't do nothing then. The United States didn't do nothing. If we're in violation, they not, the United States, they got that on records in the census. We didn't put that in the census. The race and ethnicity stands for Federal Statistics Administrative Reporting. The United States is in a violation of subjugation. It's called subjugation. A state is doing to people a foreign state. That's stripping a people of their cultural identity. Renaming, reclassifying, those are elements, look it up. Those are elements of subjugation. We're not in violation. This is why I disagree. And they're going to attack me. I get it. You see that? They're going to attack me. I get it. Because if I don't agree with everything, everything, I don't agree with everything. And I don't claim to be all knowing. I don't claim to be all that. But I don't agree with everything. And I do respect my mind. And I'm not a Paul Parrot. The attacks are coming. I get it. But I can't be afraid to speak the truth, though. I can't. It's just a limited knowledge study page. That's all. All right, so I'll continue. We have 45 minutes, making good time. What connections do the grottos have to the Moors? The grottos or mystics are known as the mystic order of the veiled prophet of the chanted realm, established in Hamilton, in New York in 1850. There's 150 grotto temples in the United States jurisdiction. They're on my Facebook page. I posted the names of the grottos from my page, from Moors and Masonry Part 2. There's all pages from Moors and Masonry Part 2, the listing of the grottos and the temples, and the listing of the shrine temples are on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey. I put them up there about 2 hours ago. So you can go there and share them. Sentinel, Israel, Obadiah, Raheem, they're right on my Facebook. I tagged y'all. I tagged you, Obadiah, Sentinel, Israel, Louisa. I tagged you, Louisa. Peace, Louisa. So it's on your Facebook page. They wear our Moorish black fez. They use Moorish names for their shrine temples, for their grotto temples, and they wear our Moorish black fez. And they also have parades, and they dress in Moorish regalia, Moorish shoes. They're not as popular as the Shriners. I said, but there's 150 of them, and they were established in 1850 in Hamilton, New York. What connection does the architecture of the Shriner temples have with the Moors? If you look at I'll put the shrine temples, and I'm going to do this. I'll do this again with the actual PowerPoints. I'll have Israel and Sentinel work with me. Sentinel and Israel, you both have the questions, and we'll do this later, down the road, or maybe before the end of this month. We'll see, and we'll put the images to these questions. You know what I mean? So that's what I always do. Put the images so they can see the shrine temples, name the names, the shrine, the architecture. Right, but I said I do have them on my Facebook page. But I trust I'm doing a good job with y'all with this. All right. What connection do the names of the shrine and temples and grotto temples have with the Moors? I pretty much jumped ahead with that. That they're Moorish names. Morocco is one of the names of the shrine temples. Islam is the name of a grotto's temple. Il Bay is the name of a grotto's temple. In fact, I have three grottos on the front cover of Moorish Masonry Part 1, and one Shriner, Morocco. He's wearing the Morocco fez. And then you have the Islam, Il Bay, and I think Mecca. I think it's Mecca, I believe. Those are the grottos. They wear the black. They wear our Moorish black fez. What connection does Arabic have to the Spanish language? On my Facebook page, Moors and like I said, I tagged y'all. They have the Arabic on the left and the transliteration into Spanish on the right. There's 4,000 Arabic words in Spanish. Why is that? Why is there 4,000 Arabic words in Spanish? You see our influence? 4,000 Arabic words in Spanish. Now you know that Latin, Portuguese, Italian, French, Catalan are part of they call the Latin languages. Italian, Portuguese, I said. Let me go back. Let me see any comments. Any questions or comments? All right, my man. All right, PowerPoint. Yeah, appreciate you, Set Neil, and I know Israel will work with you on this. Yes. I greatly appreciate the help. More's uplifting humanity. All right. Nicholas, Nicholas is the host. More Uplifting Humanity will be hosting King Albay and me in Hardyville, South Carolina on May 31st. The title is from subjugation to restoration, the political power of the buried identity of the so-called Black people. From subjugation to restoration, the political power of the buried identity of the so-called Black people. That'll be in May 31st at the Guape Life Center in Hardyville, South Carolina, on from 2:30 to 9 p.m. We're looking to have it broadcast live. All right, the place holds 600 people. And More's Uplifting Humanity is the host. Brother Nicholas. The flyer is on my Facebook page. Moors and Mason, Abdullah Bay. We got, thank you, Israel. Word Step, that's Israel. People who they are in international agreement with peace and friendship, people who recognize them. I have to step out, but I'm excited to finally be able to catch a live chat with you. Please. The feeling is mutual. I feel you, brother. Right on. Thank you. Oh man, it's getting so good. I finally feel like someone I can relate and secure a connection between and a spark of divine creation. He has to step out. Israel, connect, give him my number, High Priest, White Wolf. Tell him to reach out to us, Israel and Neil. High Priest, I think he's High Priestess, White Wolf. Oh, that's a sister then. That's a High Priestess. It's a sister. Because it's a priestess, High Priestess, White Wolf. All right. Chris Irvin, this is definitely what I needed. For the last 20 years, I have been ordained and preached a message that left a lot of questions. Thanks, Seton Il, for your guidance. I am craving more knowledge. Go ahead, right on, Seton Il. Do you think, brother? That's Chris Irvin praising Brother Seton Il. All right. I just want to get these because I have time. I got a couple more questions. So I just wanted to type your questions in or comments. Questions or comments. I think I got everybody's. Word Step. All right. Thank you, Israel. Barbary Coast captivity narratives proper. The tension between fictional and authenticity, narratology features influences on the early novel and African American slave narrative. Israel, I put that conference. Remember that conference that was held in July of 2016, that Barbary Captivity Conference. Yeah, there was a Barbary Captivity Conference held in I think Germany, I believe, Switzerland. In 2016, a lot of the keynote speakers and panelists, I referenced their work in Moors and Masonry Part 1 and 2. They had a whole conference about us. The conference is about us. Barbary Captivity Conference. The conference, an entire conference about us. These are scholars, these are professors. You're talking about over 25 professors, panelists, and keynote speakers at a conference about us. So it doesn't matter. They don't think so. Because it's about them too. It's about them because that's their history. That's their history. Linda Colley's right about her history of our, holding the Europeans in captivity. The wars we had, 10,000, Captain 10,000 English. Like 35 minutes. Let's see. All right, let me go right to jump to these last two questions. All right. What does the Shriners Fez look like? What does the Shriners, type your answer in, what does the Shriners Fez look like? Word step study, a large number of Europeans and American Christians were slaves in the North African city-states of Algiers, Tripoli, Tunis, Sali, from the early 16 and early 1900s. Can you tell us about sigils? Well, I want to the Sandra Alston Peace Family, 1798. All right, so Nicholas, some more uplifting humanity. Put the information on the conference, the Guape Life Center, and we'll be, that's the flyer that's posted on our Facebook pages. It's a preliminary flyer. That's not the final flyer. The final flyer will have the vending information, the time. I think the time is on there. For the vending information. Also, the price will be on the. It's $30. It'll be $30 for the event, and so that'll be on the final flyer. Or we'll have a number of different marketing strategies and approach. We have Brother Altuza. But Altuza is heading the marketing team. What does the Shriners Fest look like? Anyone? What does the Shriners Fest look like? Word Step Study Group, Brother Israel, call for papers, piracy, and captivity in the Mediterranean. That's it was June. All right, June 16th to the 18th, 2016, University of, thank you, Austria, Europe. Thank you, Israel. University of Innsbruck, Austria, Europe. What does the Shriners Fest look like? Anyone? All right, so let me go right to it then. All right, so there's no such thing. The Shriners Fest doesn't exist. It doesn't look like anything because it doesn't exist. Huh? Dummy Abdullah, you said that the Shriners Fez doesn't exist? No. No, the Shriners Fez doesn't exist. Hold on. So if I, all right, follow me. I put a Moorish name right here. So when we get off, if I put a Moorish name here, I put the crescent moon and crescent star. I put a Moorish scimitar. Does it make it a Shriners Fez? Or the Moorish Fez that the Shriners hijacked it? The Moorish Fez that the Shriners hijacked it and put Moorish name, Moorish scimitar, the crescent moon and crescent star that ties to Moorish culture. Is it that? See that? You see the hijacking? See the renaming? The renaming and reclassifying? Shriners Fez, the renaming, subjugation, cultural identity stripping. That's cultural identity stripping. That's part of subjugation. Stripping a people of their cultural identity. Assimilation, forced assimilation. Forbidding them to wear that pragmatica. The King Philip II of Spain, pragmatica of 1567, or royal edict, forbidding us from speaking Arabic and wearing our Moorish fez and Moorish turban and wearing our Moorish regalia, using our Moorish names, forced assimilation. That's the pragmatica. That's an act of subjugation, stripping us of our cultural identity. France implemented that. Portugal, United States, the Dutch, England, they all implemented the pragmatica. They didn't call it pragmatica. We're talking about the act of stripping. They implemented it. They all implemented it. They're all in unison. Co-conspirators, collaborators. I'm checking the questions again. All right. It's a Moorish fez on which is a red fez black tassel that the Shriners hijacked it and put Moorish names with a crescent. All right. Send it. That's not like us, but they like us. Our culture, our regalia, our customs. Christopher Withers, 1131. Can you explain how in your name you have Arabic words and Turkish words? Did the Moors speak both? Yes. They're in the same language family. Arabic, Turkish, the same Moorish, same family. Persian, Turkish, Arabic. Yeah, same language family. It's not a fez. It's all right. Divine knowledge, 144. It's not a fez if it's made by Shriner. I want y'all to think on this, y'all. It's not a fez if it's made by a Shriner. Think on y'all, just think. So divine knowledge 144 states that it's not a fez if it's made by a Shriner. So it's only a fez if it's made by, it's only a fez if it's made by the Moor, a Moor. Meaning they're making the same thing. This stuff, all right. They're making the same thing, making the same thing. So divine knowledge says that this that I'm wearing, if it's not made by a Moor, is not a fez. If somebody that look like Donald Trump makes this that I'm wearing right now, it's not a fez. If it's not made by someone that looks like me, all right, it's not a fez. If it's made by, it doesn't, my brother, with all due respect, brother, let's not do this. Let's not do this. A fez is a fez is a fez, regardless of who makes it. It's no longer a fez because they make it. It's a fez. This is where to get the idea from. The vest, the cummerbund, that's all Moorish. The pantaloons. I'm like, Google, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. What are they wearing? All right, so hold on, help me out. So the pictures that I'm going to post with these European Shriners wearing our Moorish regalia, our Moorish fez, Moorish shoes, because they're wearing our stuff, it's not Moorish anymore. It's Shriners. It's Shriners shoes. It's the Shriners fez. It's the Shriners regalia. It's only becomes Moorish. No, it always was. It's hijacking. I mean, I don't want to. I don't think I have to do this. Don't make me do this, please. Don't make me do this. Because I'm not divine knowledge. I'm not belittling you. So that's why I didn't want to, because I'm not belittling, just challenging you to think. Just think. My observation for over 33 years is with conscious Moors, that conscious Moors do a lot of parroting, not much thinking. I'm not belittling. I'm just challenging us, that's all. I'm just challenging us. I've seen that, a lot of parroting. So we hear that from somebody. We hear that. You've heard that divine knowledge. You heard that from someone. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. If you told me you didn't, I wouldn't believe you. Divine knowledge, if you told me you didn't hear that from someone, I wouldn't believe you. Why wouldn't I believe you? Because I've heard that for 33 years from many people. That's why I wouldn't believe you. Because that's been out there. That's why I wouldn't believe you, because it's been out there. Shrine is fast. That's been out there. I've heard that so many times. So I had to, and my recalibrating, rethinking, like, whoa, hold on. There's things that I had to reanalyze, relook. I used to parrot. Y'all heard me say, y'all know my story. Ain't no shame in my game. I used to parrot. So I'm going to challenge y'all to think. I'm not going to stop doing that. I will challenge y'all to think. I will challenge y'all. I will challenge us. I will not stop doing that. We have to challenge each other. And this is what I love about Israel, Seton Il, King Albay, Nicholas, Altuza, Alsifa, at the circle, Stern, Mayat, DuPont, Terrence, Luisa Flores, Raheem Alabay, Love Bay, etc., is that we are facilitating a learning environment. Kasha Bay, we are facilitating a learning environment where we challenge each other to substantiate our claims with finding of facts and evidentiary standards. We challenge each other. You have to be in an environment, you have to be among people who facilitate that. That environment is facilitated in that learning environment. Brother Obadiah, Mark Garcia, Sirius Ill, we have to do that. So if you're not in a learning environment where you just parroting things and people that's in your circle are parroting, you're not going to grow. Right, affairs is affairs, absolutely. I mean, I just cut this, make it that simple. Affairs is affairs. Affairs is affairs of Moorish affairs is affairs is affairs. A Moorish affairs. Now, keep Moorish affairs now. Moorish affairs. We'll clear BD Bay because they hijacked it, and the Shriners call it the Shriners Fairs. They call it fairs, Shriners Fairs. So Moorish Fairs, you got to put Moorish. So we're gonna type that in again. B-Day, put Moorish Fairs is a Moorish Fairs. A Moorish Fairs is a Moorish Fairs. Affairs is affairs. No, a Moorish Fair because the Shriners. All right, go to Google a company that sells the Moorish fairs. They're going to what? Advertise it as what? Shriners fairs. Do that. BD Bay, do that. Google. There we go. My man. All right. There we go. Now, Moorish fairs is the Moorish fairs. Right on. See what I did? I'm not going to stop doing that. See what I did with BD Bay? I'm not going to stop doing that. Why should I stop doing that? Because it's that we have to challenge each other. How do you facilitate growth and learning? Christopher Withers, I'm actually done the questions. I'm saying in the same question with the grotto fairs, so it's pretty much the same concept. But they call it the grottos fairs, it's the Moorish fairs. All right. So I never saw a picture of a Moor during the conquest wearing a fez when I was in Spain and Portugal. Did the Turks introduce the fez into Islam? You never saw a picture of a Moor. I'll have to send you some pictures then. We'll have to post some pictures. No more questions. I got 15 minutes. I've gone through my questions. I thought I had written it. Thought these were. I knew I was going to spend some time on a few of these questions. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that ding, ding, ding notification bell. My website been strolling across the screen for the last hour and 15 minutes. Those who are interested in getting my books, go to mooresandmasonry.org for Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology and Vocabulary, Supplementary 1, the Masonic Conference Square, and the connection to timekeeping. Go to mooresandmasonry.org. All right. Since there are any more questions, what can I have? Let me see. I got a few minutes here. The stolen legacy of the Moorish estate. You might. I recommend also the book. The history of the Moors in Spain. You have the history of the Moorish Empire and Europe by S.P. Scott, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Those are very good books. I've had those for since 2017. Those 3 volumes. You have another one by Macquarie, Moorish. What's it called? It's a Moorish Muslim rule in Spain. Moorish Muslim rule in Spain, volumes 1 and 2 by Macquarie. That came out before S.P. Scott's book. That came out. Those 2 volumes they came out in 1850s. Those are very comprehensive. You have the Unexpected Faces in Ancient America by Von Wutenhall, Alexander Von Wutenhall. Unexpected Faces in Ancient America, where he has over 100 photos of mass figurines, statues, statuettes with broad noses and thick lips. That's why he called it unexpected? Why unexpected faces in ancient America? Because of the distortion that's in the schools, it's unexpected that the ancient people of the land look like us, look like me. It's unexpected because why? Why is it unexpected faces? Why would those statues and statuettes and masks and figurine be called unexpected faces? So what's the expected faces? Those who what? Have the casinos. Those who are on reservations. Those are the expected faces. But those in the hood are not the expected faces. Those in Watts. Those in North Philly. Those in Compton. Those in St. Louis. They're not the expected faces. In fact, those people are called descendants of slaves that came on the slave ships. And then the expected faces are called the Indians or Native Americans. The expected faces, those who have control of casinos in Oklahoma and those on reservations, they're called the expected faces. But those in Compton and Watts and North Philly, and they are called the unexpected faces. They're called descendants of slaves. So see the disconnect, how they disconnect us, stripped us of our cultural identity and nationality, which suppresses, strips us of our collective history, historical memory, our land right claims, our pre-existing sovereignty. That's subjugation. And the United States has maintained it. See any questions? I've got 10 minutes. The Moors, Amu, known as Olmecs, are wearing fezzes, and we need. Oh, thank you. See now. You see now. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Absolutely. In fact, there's one statue which I'll find and post where it's a tassel. You see behind the back. That's an actual tassel. Thank you, Setanil. Absolutely. Are there any legally historical documents that state that the America is part of the America? I have not seen it. I've not seen any historical document, any documents or maps. Yeah, I'm not going to make something I haven't seen that. The first Americans were Africans, part 1 by Dr. David Imhotep. Yeah, I've seen that book. Yes, it's been out for a while. All right, we have 7 minutes. Any other questions? I think I'll end in a few. Once again, go to my website, mooresandmasonry.org. mooresandmasonry.org for books, Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology Vocabulary, Supplementary 1, the Masonic Compass Square and the Connection of Measuring and Timekeeping, and the Illuminati and the Illumination of the Mind. Go to mooresandmasonry.org. All right, thank y'all. So I'm gonna it's 8:54, and so since there aren't any more questions, I finished the 12. I've gone through the 12 questions, and I don't see any other questions here. We got a few more minutes if y'all have any questions. If not, I'm going to sign off. All right. Thank y'all for I trust I see if y'all are in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, come see us. Come see King and me at the Guape Life Center on May 31st from 2:30 to 9, live and direct. And so we're looking to have this broadcast. So see y'all. Trust to see y'all in person, see y'all there, and at that Guape. Go also if you want those who are in the area. You can purchase tickets on the Eventbrite. Tickets are available on the Eventbrite. The Eventbrite link, the flyer, as well as the Eventbrite link is on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey. Get your tickets early. Get your tickets early. Check before. All right. So, what state territory? That's South Carolina. On Hardyville, South Carolina. Hardyville, South Carolina. Nicholas, put that in the chat again. Hardyville, South Carolina. Nicholas already posted it. The flyers on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey. That's Hardyville, South Carolina. That's 15 minutes outside of Savannah. That's 15 minutes outside of Savannah. Okay, got it. All right, good. What area, Omar, what area are you in? What area are you in, Omar? Are you in Atlanta? All right. You're what, 4 hours away, right? You want to come check us out? The Eventbrite is it's on my flyer, Abdullah Bey's Facebook page, and you see the flyer picture of King and myself, and we have the Eventbrite link there. So trust to see you in the house, man. I know there's 2 hotels that are 10 minutes from the Guape Life Center. They have reasonable prices too of the hotel. So yeah, come check us out. Let people know. I put it on your calendar, May 31st, 2:30 to 9. Right on. Trust to see you in the house. All right, everyone. It's 8:57. Once again, those go to my website, mooresandmasonry.org. Thank you again, Brother Hank. I greatly appreciate you, man. This is on my 3rd year. I'm in my 3rd year. Greatly appreciate you. Make sure slow mo. Hopefully I can make it. I am still waiting for more. All right, that's right. More Masonry Part 2. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. All right, so thank you, everyone. I'll see y'all next week. Peace, everyone.